The creative power of the spoken word is one of the greatest forces you carry within you. Words are not empty sounds. They are currents of energy, vibrating with intention, shaping the unseen into the seen. Every time you speak, you are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your own life. Some plant seeds of lack and wonder why they reap poverty. Others sow words of abundance and watch doors of prosperity open before them. The spoken word is creative because it calls forth substance from the invisible realm. When you declare, "I prosper in all that I do," that statement becomes a decree. It travels into the world as a command, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities to match your declaration. The universe does not question whether you deserve it or whether you are ready. It simply obeys the vibration you send out through your words. But here is the key. The power of the spoken word is multiplied by the spirit in which it is spoken. Words spoken with fear are powerless, but words spoken with faith ignite miracles. They pierce through doubt, cut through resistance, and release energy that cannot be stopped. When you say, "Money flows to me now," with absolute certainty, your words become law and money begins to move toward you. You must also guard your speech carefully, for the tongue can bless or curse. How often do people sabotage themselves by saying, "I can't afford this," or "Nothing ever works out for me"? Those words are creative too, and they create exactly what is spoken: lack, struggle, and delay. The creative power of speech is impartial. It brings forth whatever seed you plant, whether good or bad. That is why discipline over your words is discipline over your destiny. To harness this power, choose words of abundance, faith, and gratitude. Speak as if what you desire is already yours, and you will call it into being. Declare prosperity in the present tense. Say, "I live in wealth now, I am supplied now, my needs are met now." As these words leave your lips, they begin shaping the substance of your life, pulling unseen resources into visible form. Your voice is your wand, your speech is your magic, and your declarations are the blueprints of your future. Speak wisely, speak boldly, and speak in alignment with the wealth you desire. For the spoken word, charged with faith, is the bridge between thought and manifestation, the unseen and the seen, the dream and the reality. Money is not a lifeless object, not just ink on paper or numbers on a screen. Money is energy, alive, responsive, dynamic, and always in motion. It listens, it feels. It responds to the vibration you carry in your thoughts, emotions, and most of all, in your words. To many, money seems like an external force that arrives by chance, hard work, or luck. But in truth, it is a mirror of your inner state. It flows to those who welcome it, and it withdraws from those who resist it. When you speak of lack, when you constantly declare, "I can't afford it," money never stays with me, or "there's never enough." Money hears those words as commands. It does not judge or argue, it simply obeys. It retreats, it hides, it slips away, because you have told it you cannot hold it. But when you speak with power and conviction, when you affirm, "Money comes to me freely and joyfully," money responds. It turns, it flows, it rushes to align itself with your spoken decree. Money responds to gratitude. The more you appreciate what you have, no matter how small, the more money answers with multiplication. Saying, "Thank you for the money that is here, and thank you for the money that is coming," creates an open channel through which more can flow. Gratitude is an invitation to money, a warm welcome that says, "You belong here with me." And money, like a guest who feels valued, keeps returning again and again. Money also responds to faith. If you believe it is scarce, difficult, and far away, it will remain scarce, difficult, and far away. But if you believe it is abundant, available, and eager to serve you, it will show itself in countless ways, through ideas, opportunities, connections, and even what some call luck. Money mirrors your belief system. It is not hiding from you. It is waiting for you to call it with the vibration of certainty, and money responds to circulation. When you release it with joy, blessing others, giving freely, it comes back multiplied. If you cling to it in fear, it stagnates and the flow slows. Like water, money must move to stay alive. Speak blessing over your spending, and money will bless you in return. Say, every dollar I spend blesses others and returns to me multiplied. And you set money in joyful motion. This is the truth. Money is your servant, not your master. It does not control you. You control it by the energy you project. Treat it with respect, speak to it with confidence, and command it with clarity. If you call it in fear, it will flee. If you call it with faith, it will come running. Money as a responsive energy means you are never powerless. The financial world around you is not fixed. It is fluid, ready to bend and reshape itself according to the vibration of your words, your thoughts, and your gratitude. Begin to speak to money as though it were alive, because it is. Speak abundance and money will respond with abundance. Speak wealth and wealth will appear. Speak prosperity and prosperity will answer. Money is listening to you even now. What are you saying to it? Are you pushing it away with words of doubt, or are you pulling it closer with words of faith? Choose your words wisely, for money is always responding. Faith over fear in declarations is the dividing line between words that fall powerless to the ground and words that ignite creation. Every declaration you speak carries energy, but that energy is determined by the spirit in which it is spoken. Fearful words, even when framed in the language of prosperity, lack the fire to manifest. Faith-filled words, on the other hand, surge with authority, sweeping obstacles aside and pulling money and opportunities swiftly toward you. Fear is the great thief of manifestation. It whispers, what if it doesn't work? What if nothing changes? What if you're fooling yourself? And when you allow those whispers to color your declarations, your words lose their edge. You may say, I am wealthy. But if underneath you are trembling with doubt, the vibration sent out is not one of wealth but of uncertainty. Fear contracts your field of possibility, closing doors, shutting down flow, and keeping supply at a distance. Faith, however, expands. Faith declares, I prosper now, and it does not waver. Faith says, money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. And it speaks as though the river is already rushing. Faith does not beg, it does not plead, it commands. And the universe, hearing the authority of faith, rushes to obey. Faith transforms mere words into divine decrees, words that carry the weight of law, words that rearrange circumstances to make them true. When you speak with faith, your declarations vibrate with certainty. You are no longer asking, you are announcing. You are no longer hoping, you are claiming, and this claiming changes everything. The world bends to the sound of unwavering faith. Doors open, ideas flow, people appear, and money finds its way to you in the most extraordinary of ways. Consider the difference between a fearful declaration and a faithful one. A fearful declaration says, I hope money comes soon. A faithful declaration says, money comes to me now, easily and joyfully. The first is fragile, uncertain, and keeps prosperity always in the future. The second is strong, commanding, and pulls prosperity into the present. Fear delays, faith delivers. This is why it is not enough to simply repeat affirmations mechanically. Repetition without belief is noise. But repetition with faith is power. Every time you declare with conviction, you are chiseling away at the walls of doubt and building a new structure of abundance. You are programming not only your mind, but the very fabric of reality to match the frequency of your faith. When fear arises, and it will, you must choose to replace it instantly with words of faith. If fear says, the money will not come, answer it with, divine supply never fails and money flows to me now. If fear says, what if you are left without? Respond, I am always supported, I am always provided for, I am always in surplus. Every fearful thought must be met with a faithful declaration, and soon fear loses its grip. Faith is magnetic, and when poured into your words, it makes those words irresistible to money. Money loves certainty, and it flows toward those who declare with boldness. Fear repels, but faith attracts. Fear shrinks, but faith multiplies. When you choose faith over fear in every declaration, your words become living forces, carrying you into the reality you desire. So speak with faith, declare with boldness, let your words thunder with conviction. Say, I prosper now, I am supplied now, wealth is mine now. And as you speak with faith, fear dissolves, doubt disappears, and money cannot help but answer your call. Replacing negative money talk is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward transforming your financial life. Words are seeds, and every sentence you speak plants something in the soil of your reality. Too many people scatter seeds of lack without realizing it. They casually say, I'm broke, money doesn't stay with me, I can't afford this, or I never have enough. These phrases may feel harmless, even humorous, but the universe does not take them lightly. Words are commands, and negative declarations about money create a vibration of lack that money simply obeys. The problem is that negative money talk becomes habitual. It creeps into conversations, jokes, and self-talk until it feels normal. But what feels normal is often the very pattern keeping abundance away. Every time you say, I'm broke, you are affirming poverty. Every time you declare, I can't afford that, you are closing the door to the possibility of affording it. Your words are forming your financial destiny, and if those words are soaked in negativity, your results will be too. To replace negative money talk, you must first become aware of it. Listen to yourself. Pay attention to the casual comments you make about money. Notice how often you complain, dismiss, or joke about being without. Awareness is the first key because what you are unaware of, you cannot change. Once you catch the pattern, you can break it. The next step is substitution. You cannot simply stop speaking negative words. You must replace them with words of power, words of wealth, words that call abundance. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, declare it is on its way to me. Instead of saying, money never stays, affirm, money flows to me and stays with me. Instead of joking about being broke, say, I live in prosperity and my supply is endless. Each time you make this substitution, you shift your vibration, and you train both your mind and your environment to respond to abundance rather than lack. Gratitude is one of the most effective replacements for negative speech. Whenever you are tempted to complain about money, turn it into thanks. Instead of saying, I don't have enough, say, I am thankful for the money I have, and more is coming to me now. Gratitude multiplies, and when spoken aloud, it multiplies with speed. Every word of thanks waters the seeds of prosperity, while every word of complaint dries them up. Another powerful replacement is to speak in the present tense of abundance. Do not say, one day I'll be rich, because that keeps prosperity locked in the future. Instead, say, I prosper now, money flows to me now, I live in wealth now. Present tense language pulls prosperity into today, while future tense pushes it away. Speak as though abundance is already yours, and soon it will be. It is also important to speak blessing over the money of others. Negative talk often extends into envy or resentment. They don't deserve that much, or it must be nice for them. These words cut your own supply. Instead, replace them with, I bless their prosperity and I rejoice in their wealth. What you bless in others multiplies in you. The law of circulation works through your words. When you speak abundance for others, you invite abundance for yourself. Replacing negative money talk is not just about changing language. It is about shifting consciousness. When your words change, your mind changes, and when your mind changes, your circumstances follow. The words you speak are affirmations to your subconscious, and your subconscious carries them out with precision. If you constantly declare lack, your subconscious delivers lack. If you constantly declare wealth, your subconscious goes to work to create wealth. This practice requires discipline, but it brings remarkable results. Each time you catch yourself speaking negatively about money and replace it with words of faith and abundance, you are rewiring your future. You are building a new financial reality, one word at a time. Soon, the habit of negativity dissolves, and the language of prosperity becomes natural. And when prosperity is natural in your words, it becomes natural in your life. So speak wisely. Never again declare poverty, lack, or fear. Replace every negative statement with one of power. Let your words overflow with abundance, gratitude, and faith. For money is listening, and it responds to every word you speak. Gratitude as magnetic speech is one of the most powerful forces for attracting money and abundance. Gratitude is more than polite manners or a whispered thank you. Gratitude is a vibration, a declaration, a living energy that multiplies everything it touches. When you speak gratitude, you send out a magnetic current that draws more of the same back to you. Words of gratitude are not passive. They are active, creative, and magnetic. They open doors where there seem to be none. They turn small blessings into great ones, and they prepare you to receive more than you can imagine. Think about it. When you say, "I don't have enough," you close the door to supply. But when you say, "Thank you for what I have, and thank you for what is on the way," you fling that door wide open. Gratitude creates an open channel, a clear pathway through which money can flow. Every spoken word of thanks becomes a magnet, pulling unseen resources into your visible experience. Gratitude also shifts the focus of your speech from lack to abundance. Lack is heavy, it repels, it closes off circulation. Abundance is light, expansive, attractive. When you constantly talk about what you do not have, you are affirming scarcity, and scarcity echoes back to you. But when you speak gratitude for even the smallest amount of money, you affirm increase, and increase responds. If you receive $1 and you say, "Thank you for this supply, and thank you for the greater supply now flowing," you have multiplied that $1 in spirit, and it will multiply in form. The universe loves gratitude because gratitude signals readiness. It says, "I am open, I am appreciative, I can handle more." And life always gives more to the one who shows they are ready. This is why people who are grateful seem to continually prosper, while those who complain remain stuck. Gratitude aligns you with the frequency of wealth, and once you are tuned in, money cannot help but find you. Spoken gratitude is especially magnetic. Thinking gratitude is good, but speaking it out loud releases a vibration into the atmosphere. It sets a current in motion that others can feel, that life can respond to. Say, "Thank you for my financial blessings," and say it with joy as though you are already overflowing. That sound, that spoken vibration, becomes a call to abundance. It is like striking a note that resonates with the song of prosperity itself. Gratitude also transforms your relationship with money. Instead of treating money as a source of stress or fear, you treat it as a friend. Each time you receive money, no matter the amount, say, "Thank you for blessing my life." Each time you spend money, say, "Thank you for circulating and returning to me multiplied." These words of gratitude turn money into an ally, and allies always return with reinforcements. And do not limit your gratitude only to what you already see. Speak gratitude in advance for what you know is coming. Say, "Thank you for the money on its way. Thank you for the opportunities unfolding now. Thank you for the wealth that is already mine in the unseen." This forward-facing gratitude is magnetic because it demonstrates faith. It shows you are so certain of your supply that you are already giving thanks. Life responds to that certainty by delivering exactly what you thanked it for. Gratitude is also contagious. When you speak words of thanks for others' prosperity, you multiply your own. Say, "I bless and give thanks for their success," and you align yourself with the same energy. Gratitude spoken over others creates a circulation that cannot be broken, and wealth finds its way back to you in greater measure. To live in gratitude as magnetic speech is to live in continual attraction. Every thank you pulls something new toward you. Every word of thanks increases the current of money flowing in your life. Every declaration of gratitude expands the space for more abundance to enter. And soon, money and prosperity become not rare guests, but constant companions, drawn by the irresistible magnet of your grateful words. So make gratitude your daily language. Replace complaints with thanks, replace fear with faith, replace lack with appreciation. Say thank you for the money you have, thank you for the money you spend, thank you for the money on the way, thank you for the unseen supply that already belongs to you. Speak it aloud, speak it often, speak it with joy. For gratitude spoken is not just courtesy, it is creation. It is the magnet that draws money fast, faithfully, and abundantly into your life. The law of circulation through words is one of the most dynamic principles of prosperity. Life itself is circulation. Breath in, breath out, tides rising and falling, the sun setting and returning again. Money, too, is part of this great rhythm, moving like a current, flowing in and out of your life. And the words you speak determine whether this current flows freely or whether it is blocked. Words are keys. They either open the gates of circulation or they close them shut. Every time you speak words of generosity, you set money in motion to return to you multiplied. When you say, "I give freely and I receive abundantly," you are declaring your willingness to participate in the great law of circulation. You are saying to life, "I trust the flow, I release with joy, and I know it will come back to me richer than before." And life always answers. Words of blessing, giving, and circulation create open channels through which money can travel, but the opposite is also true. Negative words about money stop the flow. Complaints like, "Money never stays with me," or fears like, "If I give, I'll lose," act like a dam in the river. They block the circulation, they create stagnation, and instead of abundance, you experience lack. Money thrives where there is confidence, blessing, and movement. It resists places where there is fear, complaint, or hoarding. This is why it is so important to align your speech with circulation. When you release money, do not speak fear. Instead of saying, "I'm losing money," say, "Every dollar I spend blesses others and returns to me multiplied." That declaration transforms spending into sowing. It turns every bill paid, every purchase made, into a seed planted that will come back with increase. Your words frame your giving, and that frame determines the harvest. You can also activate circulation by speaking prosperity over others. Say, "I bless your wealth, I rejoice in your success, I affirm your prosperity." These words of blessing send a vibration that cannot help but return to you. The law of circulation guarantees it. What you speak for others, you also set in motion for yourself. And the more freely you let these words of blessing flow, the more freely abundance flows back into your life. The law of circulation through words also applies to gratitude. When you say, "Thank you for the money I have, thank you for the money on its way," you are keeping the current alive. Gratitude keeps the river moving, complaint dries it up. Words of thanks are like the wind that keeps the sails filled, carrying you forward on the ocean of prosperity. It is important to understand that circulation does not mean loss. To the fearful mind, releasing money feels like watching it disappear. But to the mind aligned with circulation, releasing money is like planting seed in the soil. You know it must return multiplied. And your words keep that faith alive. Declare, "I give," and it comes back pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Declare, "My giving sets in motion a river of wealth that returns to me endlessly." With those words, you are commanding the law of circulation to work in your favor. Your declarations keep the flow alive. Speak often, speak boldly, speak joyfully. Affirm that you are a center of circulation, that money flows freely in and out of your life, always increasing, always multiplying. Say, "I am in the divine flow of abundance. Money comes, money goes, and more money returns. I give with joy, I receive with ease, and I am always supplied." These words keep the current clear, the channels open, and the circulation unbroken. The truth is, the more freely money moves through you, the more freely it returns to you, and your words determine whether you are a tight-fisted dam or a open channel. Choose your words wisely. Let them align with flow, with trust, with giving, with blessing. For the law of circulation is always at work, and when you speak in harmony with it, money moves toward you in greater waves than you can contain. Action aligned with spoken declarations is where the true power of manifestation is ignited. Words are seeds, but seeds alone do not bring a harvest. They must be planted in the soil of action, watered by faith, and nourished through consistency. Declarations spoken with conviction create a vibration in the unseen, but action grounds them in the visible. The two together, word and deed, form an unstoppable partnership that calls abundance into form. When you speak, "I am prosperous, money flows to me with ease, wealth is my divine right," you set a spiritual law into motion. But if your daily actions contradict that declaration, if you waste money, neglect opportunities, or act from fear, you are pulling against your own current. Words open the gate, but actions determine how much of that flow you actually allow into your life. If your declarations are the blueprint, then your actions are the builders. Without the builders, the blueprint remains only a dream. This is why action aligned with declarations is so vital. If you declare abundance, then act abundantly. That does not mean spending recklessly, but it does mean carrying yourself with confidence, walking as though wealth is already yours, making decisions from a place of plenty rather than lack. If you declare, "Money comes to me through inspired opportunities," then you must be willing to move when opportunities appear. Words call the door into existence, but action is what walks you through it. Too often, people declare prosperity but remain idle, waiting for money to drop from the sky. Words are powerful, yes, but they are not meant to replace action. They are meant to direct it. Your declarations should become a compass for your steps. If you say, "I am a channel for wealth," then act like a channel, share your gifts, serve others, invest in your talents, move in alignment with the prosperity you have already spoken. Faith-driven action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Speaking, "I live in abundance now," is powerful, but when you also begin to handle your current resources wisely, treat every dollar as sacred, and show up each day with excellence, you align your life with your declaration. It is as if your words set the stage and your actions step onto it, ready to play the role of abundance in real time. Action aligned with declarations also dissolves fear. When you declare, "I am fearless in my finances, I trust divine supply," but you still shrink back from taking inspired steps, fear is still in control. Yet the moment you act, make the call, pursue the idea, give the gift, take the chance, you prove to yourself that your declaration is more than words, it is truth. Each aligned action strengthens your declaration until it becomes your reality. And let us be clear, this is not about forced effort or frantic struggle. Aligned action flows from inspired guidance. It is not about doing everything, but about doing the right things in harmony with your words. If you speak wealth, you will be nudged toward choices, opportunities, and actions that resonate with that wealth. Your role is to listen and to move when the inspiration comes. The declaration sets the vibration, the inspiration brings the guidance, and the action makes it real. The greatest proof of faith is action. Declarations without movement are like promises never kept. But when your actions echo your words, the universe responds with acceleration. Opportunities open, resources appear, connections align, and abundance flows. Not because you only spoke it, and not because you only acted, but because you married the two. Words give life, action gives form, and together they manifest prosperity. So let every word you speak about money be followed by steps that confirm it. Declare wealth, then handle your money with wisdom. Declare opportunity, then prepare yourself to seize it. Declare generosity, then give freely. Declare abundance, then live abundantly. When your words and your actions walk hand in hand, money cannot help but follow in their path. Living now in the consciousness of wealth is stepping into the reality that prosperity is not something you wait for. It is something you claim, embody, and live in this very moment. Wealth is not first a number in the bank, but a state of mind, a frequency of thought, a vibration of being. If you live in the feeling of lack, no amount of money can satisfy you, for lack will always multiply itself. But if you live in the consciousness of wealth, even before the outer form appears, you create the magnetic pull that draws money, opportunities, and abundance into your life. Too many people postpone their prosperity by saying, "When I have more money, I will feel abundant. When I get the promotion, then I will act successful. When I finally receive, then I will give thanks." But this way of thinking delays abundance because it places wealth in the future. Wealth is never in the future, it is always now. The moment you shift your consciousness to wealth, you open the door for it to appear in tangible form. Living in the consciousness of wealth means seeing yourself as already supplied. It means waking up and declaring, "I am wealthy, I am prosperous, I am surrounded by abundance." Even if the outer evidence is small, you choose to live from the inner reality of plenty. That inner state is the seed, and outer wealth is the harvest. The harvest cannot come unless the seed is planted, and the seed of wealth is consciousness. When you carry yourself with the posture of wealth, you shift everything around you. You speak differently with confidence and expectancy. You act differently with boldness and purpose. You carry yourself differently with dignity and assurance. This inner wealth radiates outward, and life responds to it by sending you experiences, people, and opportunities that match your vibration. Wealth consciousness is a magnet, and once you live in it, money cannot resist being drawn to you. Living in wealth consciousness also means letting go of fear and limitation. Fear says, "I never have enough. I don't know how I'll make it." But wealth consciousness says, "I am always provided for. Supply is unlimited and it flows to me now." Lack consciousness locks doors, but wealth consciousness opens them. And every time you choose words of faith, gratitude, and prosperity, you are choosing to live in wealth consciousness. Another secret of living in this state is gratitude in the present moment. Instead of saying, "I'll be grateful when I have more," you say, "I am grateful now for the abundance already around me and the greater wealth on its way." Gratitude keeps you anchored in wealth consciousness because it focuses your attention on what you already have while inviting increase. You cannot be both grateful and lacking at the same time. Gratitude is the language of wealth, and speaking it places you in the vibration of abundance. Living now in the consciousness of wealth does not mean ignoring reality. It means creating a new one. You may have bills to pay, debts to settle, or challenges to face, but your inner stance is one of victory, not defeat. You declare, "I am rich in ideas, I am rich in opportunities, I am rich in divine connections." You speak to your situation not from poverty, but from power, and slowly, your outer world begins to reflect your inner conviction. Wealth consciousness also teaches you to see abundance everywhere. Instead of seeing limitation, you see possibility. Instead of focusing on obstacles, you focus on opportunities. Instead of envying another's success, you celebrate it as proof that abundance is everywhere. When you live this way, lack loses its grip on you, and you begin to see that wealth is not scarce. It is all around, waiting for you to claim it. The truth is, wealth consciousness is not something you wait to have. It is something you choose to live in now. And once you choose it, life aligns with your decision. You begin to notice doors opening, ideas flowing, money circulating, and supply showing up in ways you never imagined. For wealth begins within, and once you live in it inwardly, the outward riches cannot help but appear. So declare it now, embody it now, leave it now. I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am prosperous now. Walk in that truth, speak from that truth, act on that truth. Wealth is not a distant dream. It is a present reality for the one who chooses to live now in the consciousness of wealth.